Hi, so today I really wanted to do a review of Dear Prudence by Amanda Grime. You will probably never see this in a book retailer unless a lot of people start buying it and it becomes more heavily produced, but I really doubt that because when they produced this, they didn't make a lot of copies. So unless Amazon sells a ton of them, they won't ever be in stores. According to Amanda Grime, it's really hard to get your books in in the bookstore. Although that's how most of us ever figure out that the book exists. Um, but anyway, Dear Prudence is written by Amanda Grime, and she was my creative writer teacher and English teacher in high school. I got out of school a few years ago and haven't kept in contact with her, so this isn't. It's not like I'm getting money to say anything about this book, but it's a really good book. She did sign my book, and it says, "Crystal, you are the most luminous crystal I know." If my house was on fire and I could only grab a few things, I would be grabbing this book because she signed it. And I don't know if you can see that. Yep, now you can see it. It's a really good book. She did name it after, Dear Prudence is named after a certain song by an older band. I'm not sure what the name of that band is. But, anyway, this book is about somebody who has bipolar disorder and the struggles of her trying to go through life with, a few really traumatic and really messed up memories. Um, she's trying to commit suicide during this book, but somebody comes by and tries to save her, thankfully. And she has a knapsack full of letters that she wrote to people that she was thinking about sending but never did before she tried to commit suicide. So in this book, there's actually a lot of artwork, which is really nice to see these days because you don't see a lot of artwork anymore in books. Sure, we're not 5 years old and we don't want to see picture after picture after picture, but it is nice to see some kind of artwork, instead of just words 100%. Um, but so in the book, you get to see the letters and notes that she wrote to people that are in here, and some of them are typed, like this one. They appear randomly throughout the story, because as the story's going on, this guy who saved her while she's resting is reading them. So it's really cool. Some of them are handwritten, and you can tell that the author put so much time into writing all of these letters in this story. I'm gonna look for one of the ones that are handwritten. Where is it? And I will find some of the artwork to show real quick. A lot of them are typed, probably for time. Up here's one. And this one, it's writing to her friend Briar. This one I'm talking about. So a lot of them are actually handwritten, which is really interesting. You don't really see things handwritten in books these days that much. It's really interesting. And some of the art, let me find some artwork in here. The artwork was done by Amanda Kunzman. I went to school with her. We weren't really friends, but she was pretty cool. Some of the artwork was also done with some help from Jean Melanion and Michelle Wilson. Now, I went to Warren Hills Regional High School with all the people who contributed to this book, but I didn't have a contribution. My name isn't on here or anything. Really cool book. I did, however, she did have a presentation about her book to a select number of people in the school. And, when I say select, I mean maybe 100 or 150 at the most. And so I got to sit there and read one of these letters out to the people. It was really fun. And I felt like I really got to understand what Anagita was going through during this. It's a massively unique book. I need to give it like 4.8 stars just for how unique it is. I have never read a book where there were letters where the person that was writing them, writing these letters to somebody that you get to all these different people. Some of these letters are written to people who don't exist. Um, they're like this one's to Mother Nature. Mother Nature is obviously not a person. Let me find another one. This one is written to Alice. I think that's a real person in her life. She might, she might mean Alice in Wonderland. Now that I think of it. And there's one to Jessie. Let's see, here's one to Janice. I think she means Janis Joplin, but I'm not sure. But she writes so many letters, and throughout these letters, you learn so much from her. And from about here to here, this is almost completely letters. It's just filled with cool letters that you get to read. Of course, you don't have to read them all. You can just decide that you don't feel like reading them and stop. Um, because they come in randomly, so you could totally just read this entire story without reading the letters if you don't want to. And you could also just possibly read all the letters instead of reading the story. But it's really cool that you get to see the side of the story and the side of the character in two completely different ways. It is so unique. I have never read a book like this before. If there is one out there that's like this, let me know in the comments, because I found this so amazing and so original. I ate it up. It's very long too, and I really, really enjoyed it. So it's mostly, real life scenarios, but there's also some fantasy elements to it. A few religious undertones, but mostly fantasy. And I don't want to get too into it, but there's some love in there. But this is a really good book, and I'm sure that most people have never heard of this, so you should really take a look at it. Buy it on Amazon, send it back if you don't like it. But if you don't get the word out about a book like this, then nobody will, because nobody knows about it until you talk about it. Dear Prudence by Amanda Greime. Really love this book, and hopefully you will too. Bye.